Hello everyone, it is class 5 science video number 37. Now we are revising the whole syllabus of final term, the circulatory system, pollination, light and shadow with their diagrams. First, we discussed about the circulatory system, in which parts of circulatory system it consists main three parts we know: heart, blood and blood vessels, and these diagram you will practice also. That heart it pumps the blood throughout the body with the help of blood vessels, and blood it consists of cells like plasma, blood cells like red blood cell, white blood cell and blood platelets. Red blood cells are red in color due to hemoglobin. White blood cells it defend the body against infection, and blood platelets it help to stop bleeding by clotting the blood. Then we know about the heart, it's carrying 4 chambers, and that 4 chambers are separated by the muscular septum, which is thick and it will not allow the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in the heart. Then about the working of heart already we discussed in the videos. The auricles and ventricles are relaxed. At that time auricle get filled with the blood. Right auricle with deoxygenated blood and left auricle with the oxygenated blood. From the lungs to the oxygenated blood. When both auricles contract, valves will open and blood will move toward the ventricles. And when both auricle and ventricle contracted, oxygenated blood it pumped into the aorta and distributed all body parts by arteries, and deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle pumped into the pulmonary aorta, pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery, aorta, left atrium, left ventricle, arterial blood, capillaries of peripheral tissue, black blood, right auricle, right atrium. This is the schematic circulation of blood in human. In this diagram it is more clear how blood flow in our body, and it was discovered by William Harvey, and how we can keep our heart healthy. Then we discussed about the pollination, that flower it has 4 whorls, and parts of the flower already discussed, that it has thalamus, green color sepals, red color petals, then anther, filament which is the male reproductive organ of the flower, stigma, style and ovary which is the female reproductive part of the flower. Male we call it as androecium and female we call it as gynoecium, and these are helping the pollination. Then androecium part we already discussed it as anther and filament, and anther consists pollen grains inside it which help in pollination. Then about gynoecium, which is the female reproductive organ of the flower, and where ovules are developed in the ovary, that we know. Then about the pollination, self-pollination, when pollen grain of the same flower pollinate with the stigma of the same flower of the same species. Cross-pollination, when anther from one flower it is to the stigma of the another flower by the help of wind and insects. We call it as a cross-pollination. Then we discussed about the light, that light it is give a sensation to see, and it always travel in the straight line. Through 2 activities given in the book we come to know that if we want to see the light through the bent pipe, it is possible for us to see the light. Reason being, light travel in the straight line, and in the straight pipe we are able to see the light. Then about the transparent object, about the object which allow light to pass through it, we call that object as a transparent object. Then which block the way we call it as opaque, and which allow partial light to pass through it, that we call it as translucent object. Then how day and night is formed due to rotation of the earth around its own axis. And how shadow is formed, because tree here in this diagram act like opaque object, sun is the source of light, and the black shadow formation of the tree. Then we discussed about the solar eclipse, how it is formed. When moon come in the center of sun and earth, we call it as solar eclipse, because shadow of moon fall on the earth. Then lunar eclipse, when earth come in the center and the shadow of earth fall on the moon. Sometime it is not visible, sometime it is partially visible. When it is not visible, full lunar eclipse. When it is partially visible, then it is partial lunar eclipse occur. Revolution, when earth revolve around the sun and it completes its revolution in 365 and by 4 days, and it causes change in season. As so shown diagram in this video you have to practice in the book. Thank you.